Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Tek, and these are my co-hosts.
I'm Talia.
And I'm Tek. You may have heard me on radio, you may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Cause y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle, under pressure that will break a foe. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Hustle Podcast, episode 45. And we got my man Costa in the building, K1poulos from Accents. We got Accents, right? Is that what we call the shoe store? Or like...
Yeah, Accents.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Accents, bro, because right now I feel like I just fucked up that intro to Accents.
No, you didn't fuck it up at all, because I haven't even put a sign yet saying it, right? I'm still operating just as an artist without actually promoting the shop. So Accents is basically a studio to help young artists, and it's where I operate out of, which is my shop in a way. So it's an art gallery, it's a sneaker customizing place, a sneaker cleaning place, got an in-house fashion stylist. For now, that's
that's great stuff. I've known Costa for a while now. And I remember when this guy was operating out of his house, like in the basement, you know what I mean? He had the little workshop and everything, and this guy was churning out high quality, custom work, and it always wowed me. All the stuff that he did, like the Nipsey Hussle shoe, the Pig Panthers for Adamo, like all these shoes that you were able to put your touch on it, dude, phenomenal. Like,
thank you.
And to see what you have in store right now, like it's not even officially open yet, but I've been to the store, I saw the layout, I saw like how everything has just elevated huge, you know what I mean? And I can't wait for the grand opening, bro.
Compared to what you saw, the other location, wow, what a difference.
Yeah.
What a difference. You know, working from one little desk where everything is bordello on it and upgrade, and having yellow walls, fighting with lights, not being able to see what I'm doing, to a new location where everything's just streamlined, things work so much faster. Huge difference. Yeah, super happy. And now I'm just waiting on to see what's happening with COVID, right? In order to open up shop to the public.
Okay. So just biding your time. The man is biding his time, waiting for the right moment to strike.
There's also that nervousness, right? Like, do I launch it and nobody comes?
I don't think that's going to be a problem.
I don't think so either, but you still always have that feeling, that fear of things. And that's one of the things you have to overcome, right? It's a fear, and it's like, I've spent all the money, I've done all the work, and yet I'm still nervous, even though I know the recipe's correct and right.
Mm-hmm. Are there any other people in the city doing what you do right now? Because like I really haven't seen, like I've seen like some airbrushing and stuff like that, but I haven't seen the detail and the amount of work that you put into the shoe.
So no, there's quite a few people actually in Montreal.
We're not going to mention the competition though.
So no, by no means do I see them as competition, right? I know a lot of them, and a lot of them do some phenomenal work, but some of them don't do it full time. It's not their full time gig. They have other jobs, and they just do it part time, and doing it part time is very difficult.
Yeah.
When you have to put crazy amount of hours into your artworks and the preparation and whatever, it's difficult to do it part time. I remember when I first started, doing a full out custom, one pair of shoes would take me a week and a half. Now I'm pumping out 3 to 4 pairs a week. A huge difference. So when you really embark on it, it's a complete different ballgame. So no, we have some great artists in Montreal who do it. Maybe not at the same level, and by no means am I speaking bad about them, just not doing it full time. That's what I mean by same level. Another guy or a few other guys who are doing it full time, they do phenomenal work. We know each other. I praise them. We message each other. We help each other out. So
yeah, that's how it has to be. You guys are basically doing the same type of work, so it's good to bounce ideas, see the type of work that this guy did. He checks out what you did. You know what I mean? Leave comments of support, constructive criticism.
Surprisingly, though, I actually have more of a communication with people around the world, other customizers, than the local ones. I don't know why, but yeah, like there's a whole bunch of other customizers in the US that we weekly touch base and exactly what you said, bounce ideas off each other or exchange tricks. I don't know why it's like that here in Montreal, but
It could be the fact that they consider you competition.
no, regardless if they do or not, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really care. That's not.
That's why the guy in New York, that he knows you're not getting any of his customers, is like, yeah, sure, dude, I'll tell you everything you need to know.
well, surprisingly, I do have customers in the U.S. I have customers around the world. I've done shoes for Australia, Italy, UK,
wow.
Canada. So
Nope.
yeah, it's. But again, there's. When we see it, we say, "Wow, there's so many customizers out there." But it's like, how many mechanics do you have in the city, right?
Yeah.
Yet they're all busy. They all feed their family.
Exactly.
They all have their house. So it's the exact same thing. There's enough shoes around the world for everyone.
So answer me a question, because I feel like there's a whole like niche market. I feel like there's like an Instagram crazy community of like people who are really into. Obviously, there's sneakerheads. We know that 100%. I used to be one before I had kids. Obviously, money ain't for shoes anymore. At least you know what I mean. I get like 2 pairs a year if I'm lucky and shit. You know what I'm saying? But how pivotal has social media been to your business? I'm assuming very much so.
So surprisingly, I'm from the old school, right? Where I believe in networking and the face-to-face communication. Social media has obviously been a game changer, but reality is my Instagram is not strong. My Instagram
for
game
real?
by no
Yeah,
means.
we spoke
it's
about
not
that
strong,
last
yeah.
time.
And I've been struggling with it. It's a whole other.
It's a whole other world. For
Yeah,
sure.
and you got to learn it and try and etc. And sometimes it's like I just hyper focus on my work where I just put it on a back burner and on a back burner. That's not the right word. Just I keep doing the same things
Right, I
over and
know what you
over
mean.
instead of trying something new. But I'm really old school. The face to face, the networking, the word of mouth. So like if you check my following, it's not the greatest, but I'm doing this full time and I'm super happy with what's coming from it.
Yeah, we actually spoke about like your past basically when you told me, I think you owned a restaurant at one point. So you always had that entrepreneurial sense of trying to do something. That obviously didn't work out. But then you got into the.
It did work out.
What you told me, bro, is like
I hated it.
It was like ruining your life.
Yeah, I
So,
wish
yes.
it on nobody.
There you go.
Yeah,
And same boat for me. Same thing. It ruined my life opening up a restaurant. You know what I mean? But then you found something that really like. I think you were on a trip in New York.
So
How did this happen?
So starting to customize sneakers is it was like a process of seeing things. So it starts way before becoming a sneakerhead, and becoming a sneakerhead just by working at Athletes World back in the day, and seeing all the sneakers and the sneaker craze and whatever. To me, it was just a job or it first started off as just a job until I saw there was opportunities to move up, and that goes for other people who gave me those opportunities to move up where I never had that intention, and then getting my own stores and learning like managing my own stores like Carrefour Laval, Alexis Neon, Newton Center, etc. And that really got me into how can I sell the next sneaker, and anyways, I ended up leaving from there, going to work for a marketing firm where we used to customize different promotional products for companies. So that's where I really started getting my experience when it came to customizing, but not hands-on. I used to work. I used to be a middleman where I used to find different suppliers who either did embroidery or silk screening and etc. So after leaving from there, I ended up owning the restaurant, and at the restaurant, I was like a horse. Yeah. I only knew the restaurant. I had no idea what was going on.
Breathe, sleep.
Yeah. So after I sold my shares of the restaurant, I got onto a plane and ended up in Japan, and I saw it happening in Japan, people customizing sneakers. And my first reaction was like, of course, somebody's drawing on sneakers. If I see it anywhere in the world, it's going to be here.
Facts.
Yeah.
So, and their artworks were out of this world, right? Like I would never even think that it's something wearable. I just thought it was another canvas that they're using to put on display. And then I ended up in Paris, and I saw people customizing sneakers there. Okay, so now this is like getting imprinted in my mind. And the cherry on top was when I was in New York, I walked into the store. It looked like a little pop-up shop, but you walked in, it was like so dirty. It was so like they opened it for the weekend, and the place looked like it was still under construction.
Yeah.
And I saw used sneakers there, that were on the shelf, and I grab it and I'm looking at them like, people are selling used sneakers, and I look at the price, $600, and I was like, man, I used to have this at the store at $200. How is a used sneaker selling at $600? And that's when I started seeing what's happening with the sneaker craze.
Sneakerhead culture, yeah.
Yeah,
the
how
resale
people,
value is crazy.
I had no idea that was happening. And anyways, long story short, I learned more about art. Then I saw customizers here in Montreal, which some of them are the ones I was mentioning before. I saw them, and I met this one guy who had moved from Paris over here, and him and I started doing shows together. I knew nothing about customizing sneakers, so I was more sitting next to him at the shows, watching him work. And I was just in love with it. And when I saw somebody airbrushing with stencils and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I could do this. I know I can apply myself. So 2017 was a year of learning. Bought my airbrush and practice until I started getting things rolling. So that's the customizing beginnings.
So that was the beginnings right there. That sounds like quite a little journey, going from Japan to France and then New York, and experiencing all these different customizers, whatever.
I mean, those two cities, though, well, Japan's not a city, but Tokyo and New York, like, people don't realize, along with London, those are like two of, well, not two of, they are the two biggest fashion cities on the planet. Like, Tokyo sets the trends for a lot of fashion, even that we see over here. Obviously, New York gets the nod, London as well, Paris too.
Well, Paris, I think, is number one.
You
that
think so?
Influences North America. I'm under that impression, but you're right. All these cities are very big when it comes to influencing.
And Montreal too. Montreal doesn't get enough credit, but we're definitely, I mean, listen, we shit on every other city in Canada in terms of how we dress. So it is what it is.
True, I guess, yeah.
It is true.
Yeah, in fact, me and Steve had this talk during the week, I think, and I was saying Montreal is like a mini New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever see how they dress in Winnipeg? It ain't like how we are.
You're right.
I'm just telling y'all the truth.
Oh my God. You have all these crazy pieces you've been working on, dude. You have the Nipsey Hussle shoe. You have the Pink Panthers. Like, how did the Nipsey come to be? Was it something, I forgot how you started creating that. Was it something for a client, or was it something that you did it out of rest in peace to Nip?
So this is, the customer walked in saying, oh my God, we got to do a legend on the shoe. And I was like, all right, we're going to do Tupac or Biggie. And he throws a Nipsey Hussle at me. I'm like, who the fuck's Nipsey Hussle? Okay. Like you said, a legend. Okay. So my first process is the research, right? I had to see who Nipsey Hussle is before I actually do the shoe. So that's when I started seeing who he was. And I don't know why. I just never had heard of him, right? Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I got to figure out some artworks. And what's cool, he gave me carte blanche. Okay. This customer is somebody who comes often, and he gives me carte blanche on whatever I do. So I had to come up with the ideas, and to get inspiration, Google was my number one, right? So just browsing images and trying to learn about Nipsey, listening to his music, and then from there, taking one step at a time, right? And when it came to my artworks, every custom I do, I always try and one up from the last one. So I had, and the Nipsey one that you're talking about, and that was like 2 years ago, right? The Nipsey had a huge transition from the work I was doing. It's like I did a big jump to the Nipsey one. Okay. So it wasn't a step by step. It was like I got to push myself to do it. And the Nipsey was a huge learning experience, which brought me to another level. And I started doing other similar ones with Kobe Bryant and Pop Smoke, and just from there, just kept upgrading to where I am today.
Crazy. Those you mentioned Kobe, the Kobe shoe, the Pop Smoke shoe. I forgot about the Pop Smoke shoe. That shit looked crazy, dude.
By the way, rest in peace to all three.
Yeah, definitely. Seriously. Rest in peace to all three. And it's crazy that you're encapsulating these legends onto a shoe.
So look, it's yes, I did the work, but the theme came from the customer. So and I love when the customers give me the theme. Well, they always give me the theme, but I mean, I love how they come up with the idea and I got to make it happen. So it's always, I got to brainstorm and come up with how can I do it justice. And every customer has a story, like the Nipsey, a legend. To him, Nipsey meant something. The way we grew up with the late 90s, 2000 music. It meant something to us. The Nipsey meant something to him. The Kobe shoe that I did, it was a ex-player that used to play in Europe, and his idol or guy,
Inspiration.
the guy he would look up to, right? He would practice like him. It was Kobe, so that's what he wanted to do on a shoe. So it's the story behind it. When the gentleman was telling me what Kobe meant to him, it's like, I gotta do this shoe justice. I can't just put a Kobe face on it, something easy. I gotta put all the colors in there. I gotta make it worth his while.
No, it's definitely you put love and effort into every shoe that you make. The fact that you do the research and you like delve into it and you get to know the artist, like you said, you didn't know who Nipsey was before the shoe, and then you got to listen to the music. I'm pretty sure you found a respect for Nipsey's type.
Absolutely.
So you're like,
Absolutely.
oh, this is really dope. Like,
But it's not just the artists, right? Somebody came up to me and said Sakura flowers. I was like, what are Sakura flowers? Right? So I had to research that, and I was like, so every project that has been thrown my way, it's like almost like a learning experience, as if like, how come I never knew this before?
that's cool though. Like, cause like you mentioned, every project, it's you get to do the research and learn something new about it.
Yeah.
So you're learning at the same time.
Yeah.
You're learning the technicalities of making the shoe, right? But you're also learning the history behind it. You learn like, what the hell's a Sakura flower? You found out what that flower is, dude. So that's pretty cool.
And the thing is, I had seen it, just never knew the name of it, right? And then the story behind it, behind those flowers.
Yeah. You have the shop now. Like we mentioned, the shop's on the way up. How? Like, tell us the journey getting this thing off the ground, bro. You told me like it drove you nuts. You did all the work by hand, basically, like no carpenters. And
so the story starts off with I had the location. And the place was a dump, like a real dump. And it's like, I got to turn this place around, taking my experience from seeing other shops, when having Athletes World, what a store is supposed to look like, having the restaurant, seeing what a restaurant's supposed to look like, what the vibe's supposed to look like. I turned around and I imagined what a sneaker customizing art gallery is supposed to look like. And my main thing was the funds to do this. And so I wrote a business plan. I got help from Yes Montreal to help me write the business plan. And Yes Montreal, I went to more for validation, for that confidence level.
so you can know that you're onto something.
That's it. Maybe I was completely off. Maybe my business plan was completely wrong. Like, who am I kidding trying to write a business plan? But I took the time and I did the research, and I went to Yes Montreal for a little bit of extra support and help, and more, like I said, validation that I'm on the right path. And I went to the bank to borrow money, and I walked in with my business plan, and I meet with a bank manager. 30 seconds, he quickly looked at the business plan like this. He went straight to the numbers, not even seeing what the idea is. And he tosses my business plan on his desk, saying, everybody thinks they could be an entrepreneur. I was like, I walked in with the confidence that, okay, I got the help. I wrote the plan. I have business experience from the past.
Any shit on you?
A little bit. Like, it kind of bruised my ego a little bit, but right there, I turned around.
You definitely sharded at least.
I just got up, grabbed my business plan, walked away. He was calling me back. I just walked out. I was like, even if that's not what he meant, I took it very condescendingly, his comment. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm starting at the basement at home. And step by step from there, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
So then I just had to get the ball rolling, and I started from home, and I was thinking the shop was going to be built within a month, right? Like, construction, how difficult can it be? Yeah. So I was going in on weekends, and I remember putting up the first wall in there, like first cleaning up. Cleaning up was a big disaster, like garbage bags and garbage bags of stuff of over the years. Things were collected in that like a warehouse, like a garbage warehouse, and so first. I was going through stuff to see what should I keep, what should I not keep, but it was just taking so much time. Then I was like, just toss everything, don't waste time. So then starting to do the construction, never done construction in my life. I put up my first wall, and one of my father's friends came came by and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing there?" And I tell him, "Oh, I'm putting up a wall." And he's like, "Oh, well, it's not straight what you're doing." And I was like, "No, why? I put my wood. I'm just gotta bolt my jib to it." He goes, "Well, put the jib," and it didn't work. So that wall took me like 3 tries to get it straight, but that was a learning experience.
For sure.
And then noticing that working there on the weekends and trying to work on sneakers just wasn't happening. It's like 3 months had gone by and I barely had moved forward on the place.
And then you went dark. You went MIA. Huh?
So
Completely
no,
off the radar.
I decided to just focus on sneakers and see where it really goes, because year 1 was horrible for me, right? But it was still a learning experience. And yeah, then a few years later, where work just started coming my way, and that little studio was like sneakers everywhere, and I'm setting up extra tables so I can have more workspace, and I reached the point where I was like, okay, I need somebody to help me out, but where am I going to put this person? If somebody comes to help me out, there's zero space. So that's when I decided to go MIA, go dark, finish all the jobs I had in front of me. And I took the hit, no more sneakers. I went full-time in construction. 9 months it took me to build the place on my own, and with the vision I had and I wasn't even sure. I had an image in my head, but I couldn't put it into words. I couldn't find examples of what I saw.
You needed to do it, or else
I
it wasn't going to come
needed
out.
to do it, and I needed to do it my way. The way I'm meticulous on sneakers, I wanted to be meticulous with that shithole I had. So 9 months later, a lot of stress, a lot of money spent, but got the place up and running. I'm very lucky. I had a few friends who would take days off to come help me. Like, they would take the full day off from work. I was like, "Bran, like, what about your work? You're coming to help me." And even though one full day, 2 people, like, and I'm talking about 10 a.m. to like midnight, and you turn around, you feel happy about the work you did, but you turn around and it's like, what was done? Almost nothing.
You didn't make a dent.
Yeah, it felt like I didn't make a dent. And I was like, man, I just got to keep pushing. And that's where I learned how important to-do lists are. Because I would turn around and, like you said, not make a dent, but that to-do list, when you saw it all crossed off, it was like, okay,
we're doing something. We're doing shit.
Yeah, it was literally step by step, and mistakes and hiccups and surprises that I was finding. But yeah.
Well, look, dude, you built a beautiful place. Can't wait, like I said, till it opens, when it opens. And you're also a carpenter now, too. So if we need a house to be built, bro, we just call this guy up. And
so the cool part about it, because I got to learn so much, I started incorporating some of that stuff with my sneaker work. Right? I started working on canvases also, with using materials I used for the construction. Started building, using my woodwork now, getting ideas to build other stuff. The new painting skills, like painting a wall. Painting a sneaker is completely different from painting a wall, but painting a wall is different from painting a sneaker too. So mixing all those up just generated new ideas. So I think that even helped with the sneakers.
Nice.
Building the place.
You have your own customs you're working on right now. I think we have 2 that are in the works. There's one that we have right under the table. You got to bring it up.
So I have 2 right under the table.
Okay, let's see them.
But I haven't released them yet.
Well, this is gonna be out in 3 weeks, so by then.
So I gotta make the jump fast, right?
So we're good. Don't worry.
World premiere. World premiere. Let's see what we're working with. I thought that was a box of grenades, bro.
Yeah, you got to bring the box up here too, bro. We got to see the grenades.
Guy came
Yeah, we'll put it right here in the middle.
ready for war, man.
So our man right here in the back, he's getting the grenades ready.
Because obviously you viewers can't see the box he's working with right now. It literally looks like it's a wooden crate that would store grenades basically at this point. So I thought we were gonna die today. I'm not gonna lie.
Some tactical shit.
I'm kind of relieved that it's just sneakers at this point. He's even wearing the cargo pants, like he's ready for war. So
yeah,
I wasn't sure, man.
I thought we had like some militia from Ukraine over here.
It could be. You never know, man. Shout out to, we got Valerie Plant in the corner right there, man. What's up with Tals, man?
Talia has a yeast infection. She can't be here today.
Damn, Tals, you got to get that preparation H, you know what I'm saying? Preparación. She's got to super relax. I bet you she's just hungover. How much you want to bet? Shout out to Tals, yo. All right, we ready? Let's do this, man.
Okay, so we got this box over here.
I told y'all about the grenade box. That was no lie. No lies
We got
told.
this box over here. This thing Look how it gets presented. Have you ever bought a pair of sneakers that comes in a grenade box? I think not.
No, I have
First one to do
not.
it.
No.
Shout out to my man K1poulos.
I don't know if I'm the first one.
He's the
but
first one to do it in Montreal. There we go. Okay, you want to do the honors? You
Yeah,
want
with
to pop
no
the
further
lid?
ado, man.
absolutely.
Go step by step. And look at that camera when you. This one's gonna reveal it, and then when you pull it out, you know what it is.
Oh, with the dog tags and shit.
Look
That's
at that.
fire,
You got
bro.
the dog tags numbered on the top, so you know which edition of the sneakers you got.
So we have the dog tags, which has a number as well. Comes with little Velcro attachments,
Velcro attachments,
a carry bag,
carry
Nice.
bag,
Nice
and
touch.
a carry bag, so
Brand
people
new
really
Air Force One.
a carry bag, so people really think you have grenades. Look
and here's a sneaker.
at that
It's called the
sneaker.
Air Force One Kevlar.
Oh shit, that's fire. I didn't even peep that. That's pretty sick, bro.
Little pocket in the back.
Oh shit.
You got a little,
This
you got a little
guy's
pocket knife you want to put in the back. You got a joint.
You have your Velcro attachments. You could change them. Has a Canada flag. Has my logo. And you could put anything else you want on it.
That's lit.
Has the 3-dimensional swooshes on it.
Let's see that. Point at the camera. You see the swoosh right there? 3-dimensional swooshes.
With the Kevlar bulletproof material.
That's crazy, bro.
It's not really bulletproof, but
Okay, I was gonna ask right now. Somebody
Let's
shoots
test it,
my
Steve.
toe.
Let's
Somebody
test it.
shoots
Put
my
it on.
toe,
Let's
bro.
test it right now.
So this year is actually going to be my first release. I had another shoe in mind for a first release, but for some reason I really wanted to do something military-ish.
Yeah.
I've always dressed with cargos and stuff like that.
I
always-
think right now with World War III, it's perfect timing, bro.
Yeah, yeah. So I was thinking maybe it's not the right time, right? Because of the situation.
Mm.
So the idea of my own releases, it's like I was saying before, a customer always came with his theme and whatever, and it's like, okay, I'm doing whatever everybody else wants, but I want to start doing the stuff I want to do, and in order for me to continue growing as an artist, it's time for me to start doing my own ideas.
Yeah.
And obviously, this shoe here got inspiration from a lot of different other customs that have been made or stuff that have been released by Nike. So the next step for me was like, okay, let me make my own design, and I got to start numbering my work. So as I continue growing, my work can start getting value. So whoever has the item itself, it's a numbered.
You're treating it like a
collection.
piece of art.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
That's it.
That's exactly it. And what's funny is I always tell like my customers, like when I make the shoe, like, oh, you better wear this. And a lot of them are messaging me back saying like, there's no way I can wear this. This is a piece of art, and they're keeping it on display.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, man, it's wearable. It will not damage. But seeing that and hearing that, I was like, okay, I got to take myself to the next level and push myself as an artist and start doing my own releases.
I think this looks great. Like it really encapsulates that military feel. You know what I mean? So mention a little bit about the stuff. Like you mentioned, you had the trim, you did the swooshes and everything. But
Take us through the process.
take us
is
through the
what
process.
he's
of it.
trying
Yeah,
to say.
exactly. Like
So the process of making it,
you got the
itself,
all white shoe or like how?
So no, the shoe was all black.
Okay, all black.
Purchased directly from Nike. It's a real Air Force One, no copy or anything like that. So it's a real Air Force One. And what's done to it? It's while I was helping one of my friends move, I found a fabric in his garage which he was gonna toss out, and I was like, "Man, can I keep it?" And he goes, "Fuck, you gonna do with that fabric?" And I was like, "Man, I love the texture on it, and I'm all about textures." So I loved the texture
Okay, so
of
that's
this
on the sole.
fabric.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fire,
and it's
bro.
also on the sole, right? But it was a texture on the fabric. So I used that material in order to make the front. And in fact, the Kevlar name is never something I had thought about, but it was people coming in saying, "Is that Kevlar? Is that Kevlar?"
Like,
And I was
yep, yes it
yeah,
is."
that's Kevlar. Yeah. So the next steps after was creating the extra holes, putting my eyelets, finding a way how to get the ropes through in order to pass the military paracord.
Okay.
Then I was huge on like little Velcros. I'm putting them on my backpacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I like if you see my backpacks, I have Greek flags on them. I have the thin blue line, the Canadian flag. I don't know if you guys know what that is, a thin blue line. Okay. So
No.
for the fallen cops.
Okay.
It's
Come on, Steve. Get it
it's a
together.
black and gray Canadian flag with a blue line through it.
Okay.
And the Fallen Cops was just representation of the way I saw it. My father used to be a cop in Greece, so that's how I had the respect for it, right? So going back to this shoe, it's just adding different attachments and keeping it clean looking while still maintaining that real Air Force One feel to it instead of doing a full paint job on it.
Looks nice, man.
Very, very nice work. And how about the box, though? What made you say,
So
you know what, I'm going to put this thing in grenade box?
So when I said the inspiration comes from seeing other artists and customizers, I saw a lot of customizers who were not only customizing the shoe, they started customizing the box. And I saw there was a whole different market for it. And I was like, you know what? Time for me to make a box. And right now I have the experience on woodwork. So let's make...
And we got all this extra pieces of wood over here.
Yeah, we got the extra pieces of wood. We got all the tools. So I thought it would be a really cool add-on as a full gift. And when I was showing it to people were like, no, the box is what completes the package.
100%.
Yeah, I was thinking of like releasing it as option of a box, and everybody's like, no, I want it with a box. And I have people on the waiting list saying, I want number 1 and I want it with the box. And I'm like, no, sorry, I play fair. It's whoever orders it first is gonna get number 1.
Yeah.
So
okay, so people are out there, like they're hungry to get that first edition, bro. They're waiting.
which is very motivating, right?
Yeah, very
motivating.
Because they're thinking that thing's going to be worth millions of dollars one day. Definitely.
Fingers crossed.
So we have this beautiful piece of work over here. I know you have another shoe that you wanted to show us. Oh, let's put that away.
Oh shit, we're breaking out the J's.
All right, let's start with the J's. So the story on this one here was actually a customer who brought me these Jordans for me to customize them, and he never came to pick them up.
Okay.
So I just use them as displays at shows.
So we got some anime character on that.
So that's Hitachi from Naruto.
Okay, Hitachi.
Yeah. Fully painted, fully durable. You can wear this in the rain.
So it's not going to start streaking.
No.
Okay,
No,
perfect.
all the prep work is done in order to make sure that the paint adheres. So imagine
sure.
when I work on a shoe, it's like painting a car where you really sand the car down. So I'm sanding the shoe down to get to raw leather. You know, and when I paint it, it's like I lay my paint in multiple layers. I don't just shoot red in one shot.
Yeah.
So I have to build the paint up to make sure it cures and dries properly and adheres to the leather. And this is what makes a job become 16 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours long.
See, that's what I think a lot of people don't realize about sneaker customization, because like I think me not knowing too much about the actual process of doing it, I was just thinking you're there with paint and a brush, or you know, an airbrush gun or whatever, and it's just a done, like, bang it out, you know.
Definitely.
That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah, that's how I always thought that.
Yeah. By no means. There's the prep work is the most important part, and it's the most tedious part. It's like you're sanding the shoe down, and there's no real way of telling if it's properly sanded. So you gotta over sand it to make sure you haven't missed any corner. So it's the most tedious part. You really make the shoe look like crap, and then start making it look nice again.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have one more, right?
So this one here was inspired by a friend of mine who's in Chicago.
That one is the colors.
So
They
he
pop
had
so
first.
much.
This was supposed to be my first release, but it might be my second, third, or maybe not even release it. I don't know. But it's the inspiration came from one of my friends in Chicago who had first made a Bel Air custom.
Look at that.
So I changed the colors a little bit. Designs are very similar,
That's it.
but it's the idea I had in my mind was exactly that Bel Air retro 90s summer shoe.
Yeah. It feels like when I see them, if I see them in a split second, I get reminiscent of Prince of Bel-Air.
It's definitely got that 90s twang.
Yeah, definitely.
sure.
So I should have brought the t-shirt with me, but it comes with a matching t-shirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you need like some sort of like Razor Ramon vibe, like the
So
the
by no
fuchsia,
means does it look
you
like
know
that.
what I'm
No,
saying?
it's still a clean white t-shirt, and just the logo
The
is in
pocket.
the exact same
Okay,
colors.
I got you.
And the reason why we don't have the shirt here today is because I know you received it and
I wasn't happy with it.
You didn't think the colors were vibrant enough and didn't really.
It didn't justify. It
It didn't stay true to the shoe. So,
that's something that's important to
Yeah.
me. If I do something, I wanted to make sure it's done properly. So I'll always make my samples first, or I'll always do my testing first. Like even when I do shoes for customers, if I have to test prior, I'm doing it on a canvas or on another piece of leather. I like I said, I push myself. So by pushing myself, I lose time sometimes practicing stuff. But over time, it becomes artillery. It's like I've practiced it. Now
Exactly.
I have it as tools. Like if I have to do it, it's like, okay, I've tried this, I've done that. Okay, I can mix this with this. And just, it becomes extra tools in my belt, right?
Yeah. Just you're building up your artillery.
That's it.
At that point.
That's it.
Like we're talking about customs and all the work that you're doing for clients and your own customs as well. We didn't talk about the fact that you restore shoes. Like I can bring, unless that's done now, I don't know.
So yes, I do restore shoes. However, I don't do as much of it anymore. The customizing process has been really fun, and people are knowing me now more for the customs. So that's the direction I'm heading in more. I still restore shoes. Some people aren't necessarily okay with the price when it comes to restoration. Because it's simply a restoration. Yeah. And when they hear the price for a restoration, I still have to take the same amount of time it takes me to do a custom just to restore a shoe. So sometimes it's not worth it. But other people who show up with shoes that they had back in the 90s and they're in not bad condition, it just needs a small paint job, and they're seeing on StockX the price that it cost close to $3,000. Now they're like, please restore it. I don't care what the price is. And on my end, it's like, I'm working on customs now. And are you ready to wait a month? Are you okay with it? And they're like, yeah, I don't care. I'm like, okay, cool.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. Like if it's like a retro shoe that has history and it has worth,
that has value,
people are going to be like, you know what? Bro, I'm going to pay money to get this fixed. But if I'm going to bring you my Adidas from last year, which I did bring you my Adidas from the year before.
So that wasn't a restoration job, right?
No, that was, I spilled coffee all over these shoes, dude. It was, white shoes look brown after. Anyways, this man,
he came out white.
He came out white. He did an amazing job. Thank you very much for that.
So that's the other service, right? The sneaker cleaning. And the sneaker cleaning is really what got my foot back into the sneakers after selling the restaurant, right? I started with a sneaker cleaning just so I could get my feet wet again and see what opportunities there were as turning this into a business. And as I kept pushing for it and going to shows, I ended up getting sponsored by Crep Protect. Crep Protect is a company that sells cleaning products for sneakers. So getting their sponsorship was huge for me. One, okay, my work is worth something, that companies like that are noticing it. Two, going to shows under the Crep name creates immediately like a sense of trust when somebody meets me.
For sure.
And having the opportunity to be doing all these shows with the guys from Crep has really opened a lot of doors too when it comes to the customs. And they're 100% supporting me when it comes to the customs, right? So when I'm at the show promoting their product, they're there saying, yo, this guy does customs too. Nice. So it's like really we scratch each other's back. It's like a two-way streak, the sponsorship.
Yeah, I've noticed Crep Protect. You and Crep Protect go hand in hand. They gave you some big ass throne and people sit on that while you clean the shoes and everything. Like,
so those thrones, they're like old school sneaker cleaning on New York streets, right? And having access to them and being part of Crep has opened a lot of doors. Where I did a collaboration with Reebok, I did a collaboration with Adidas, I did a collaboration with a Foot Locker store on St. Catherine for sneaker cleaning days. So that again, also doing these events with them creates more of a trust for people when talking with me, and it exposes me to more people. And you know how I said before, I'm still the face-to-face guy. So meeting people,
networking, perfect,
100%.
Yeah. The buzz, everywhere you go, it's constant buzz for the brand. So that's a beautiful thing. Is there anything else coming up soon with like Crep Protect or anything? Or
the events now are starting to line up. There was one in Vancouver, but with it was kind of a last minute thing, and with all the regulations and whatever, I'm not going to Vancouver. But whatever's coming to Montreal and Toronto, I'm picking up again with them.
Perfect.
And but prior to that, prior to COVID,
perfect. Now that they're coming here, you're gonna be able to use that networking opportunity to promote the shop.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had the chairs in the shop all set up, but I had to ship them to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're getting to that time of the day. I got to give you this gem, bro.
Oh.
And you got to drop some knowledge on the people out there. You got to give some words of wisdom to some upcoming customizers, some people in the shoe game, some sneakerheads, somebody that just has that work ethic and they want to grow their business to the next level.
So not just sneakerheads or customizers. Anybody, it's don't stop. Keep going. Who cares how hard it gets? Just go through the growing pains. That's it. As simple as that.
It's easy. Simple. You don't.
It's easier said than done because it can get very demotivating. It can get demotivating. It can turn doubt into your head, and regardless of how confident people see me and of how determined I am, and I know exactly what direction I'm going in, it's difficult. It's mind games, right? When things go wrong. So just keep going, even if you fail. We know it's maybe cliche, but just keep going. Dust yourself off.
That's it.
Yeah.
Pick yourself up and try again. Try again, like the song says.
Relax, Timberland. We good.
All right. Where can people find K1poulos? Where can they find Accents? Where can they find the physical shop in due time?
So the shop is on really in the heart of Montreal, literally in the center of Montreal. You'll probably pass in front of it all the time. It's on the Carry, in the Côte-des-Neiges area, 5745A de Carry. You can find me on Instagram, the letter K, number 1, Poulos, K1poulos. Man, that's it. As simple as that.
Right, perfect. So if you guys need customs, you need shoe restoration, you need some shoe cleaning. Not so much for the shoe restoration anymore. But if you need any of those services, you call my man Costa up and he's going to hook you up. Thank you for watching another episode of the Hustle Podcast. We out.
Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Tek, and these are my co-hosts.
And I'm Tek. You may have heard me on radio. You may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle, under pressure that will break a fold. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle. Take money, make money, build a future forever. Even in stormy weather, we execute for treasure. The grind is real, you know. Got the willpower, Terrence Howard, hustle and flow. Rain, sleet, or snow, the odds against me for sure. I kick down them doors when they close. A sharp shooter of motivation that leave bullet holes. We're in the zone, get focused, zone. Stay on your toes. Hustle, welcome to the show. If your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle, this is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. Turn nothing into something, cut the product, watch it bubble. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. See the vision with precision, put the pieces to the puzzle. This is a show for you.